Oh, you
this,
did.
this
You
Lynn
needed some
Whitfield, you dig? I
food.
did. That food got me up now. Let's go do it. Shoot, want to work out? Anybody want to do some push-ups?
Hello, everyone. We're sitting down with the cast of three cast members of The Shy, the amazing, the icon, Lynn Whitfield, Jason Weaver, and Luke James. How are we all doing?
Magical.
Well, thank you.
Fed.
Yeah, feeling great.
So, what does The Shy teach us about the beauty and burden of black family? And how was being a part of this show deepen your understanding of home, love, and legacy?
Mm.
Girl, I could write a. That's
Yeah,
thesis
that's a
questions.
yeah.
Wow. Family. It takes a village. You. Through this show, that concept I had been hearing all my life. Is very true. It definitely takes a village. It definitely takes a community to weather all the storms, through all the joy, through all the pain. Um, yeah, having people that hold you accountable, people that can inspire you. Yeah, it's taught me a lot. Again, a lot about love and the way that love can show up. It's uncontrollable.
Luke is all about the love.
I am absolutely all about the love. I'm like Lionel Richie.
All about the love today.
I'm like Lionel Richie.
Uh,
Okay.
you gotta ask. You have one?
Well, no, if anything, like, especially somebody that's from Chicago, like from the South Side. I'm from the crib. Yeah, I'm from the neighborhood.
From Southside, right?
Yeah, from the South Side. And it, really the show is, like we had mentioned early on a couple interviews, it's a love letter to the city of Chicago, and particularly the South Side, and really what we're depicting and portraying and showing to people who aren't familiar with that community is the sense of love, the sense of community, again, holding each other accountable, holding each other down, supporting each other through, the tough times. And, we do touch on that element of street life, and there's a, little violence, here and there, but more or less what we celebrate is community and people coming together, because that's essentially, no matter where in America it is, when it comes to black families and the black community, we ultimately do really care about one another and try to look out for one another. And so this show has given us the opportunity to present that, like, as a Chicago story in a way,
Mm-hmm. I forgot the question exactly because it was very smart.
It
but
is.
But it's
So, how has
long.
being a part of this show deepened your understanding of home, love, and legacy?
Oh, how has it
Deepen your understanding.
of home,
Love,
love, and legacy? Well, um, home, I find that this show, right, these storylines, the earth under the whatever the little piece, the little stamp of earth or building that someone is in, all these characters make it their home. They make it their real abode. It exudes their personality. Each and every, I don't care how meager or how fancy it is, you feel like they are taking care of themselves within their spaces. And I feel beautifully that the production design tells a lot of the story in the story, from the photographs, from the paintings, from the things that you have around, so that home and protection is very important, particularly like in a town like Chicago, where, it's good. What you have in your four walls is very important. Legacy, was that the other one? Legacy, I think just in general, the legacy of a show that has the possibility of becoming the longest running black subject matter fictional show in television. It says that these real stories about the lives of these people is important to the audience, that they connect in some way with so many storylines people find themselves. So that legacy is a very important legacy. So that's my kind of two answers for those things.
That's beautiful.
So Alicia operates between wealth and street code. Did that tension ever challenge you emotionally?
Um, well, I find a great continuity. There are a lot of people who live very glamorous lives who operate in street code. I think our country may be being run by some of them at this point. So that kind of where wealth and street code meet is not new to the world. And when I was preparing for this role, I looked at a lot of true crime stories, and I also looked at Scarface, Godfather, and The Sopranos, because there were characters that you liked in all of those stories who had great families and who did a lot
Diabolical
of
things.
diabolical things. So I needed to find a path to justify, to be able to, how a character can justify in themselves doing ghastly things, and still love family, and still have community, and still want to contribute to the community. And so there are people that are just like that. So it wasn't hard. It was hard for Lynn Whitfield to pick up a gun and blow somebody away. But once I got into the mindset of street code and what revenge is, as detrimental as it is to any human being, it was pretty easy to pull the trigger that way. So I discovered how crimes of passion really happen. Just exploring that
psychology of it.
psyche
Yeah,
the psychology of how that happens. And you were standing there with me.
Yeah.
And it was like I was so nervous about it. But
remember
once
that.
I like, how am I going to justify this? I was like, Jason, this is like really horrible. I mean, like, he didn't even really do it. I mean, like, what in the world? How could she like? But then I just had to find the path, and once I did,
Yeah.
it was his character that kind of like said, okay, that's done, because I let Alicia lose herself in that act.
You did an excellent job with that too, because I remember how, for you personally as Lynn, it was hard for you to get into that because you are anti-guns and are anti-violence. So for you to be able to tap in like that as an actor, I just thought
To make the
was brilliant.
transformation.
Yeah, to make
To allow your body to
yeah.
Yeah.
take in and give out.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, like, am I being being responsible to? But it's the truth.
It's the truth.
So a lot of this story, right? So the shy.
Yeah.
I find like there are things in characters that it's like cautionary. It's like, okay, that's a mistake. Maybe you don't want to do that, right? Or this is inspiring. This is a choice that actually the consequences or results of it. So I think that's what makes this such a
Human experience.
experience,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
No,
Go
totally,
ahead, 'cause
totally.
you were talking about that earlier.
No, totally. I mean, that is one of the points of the show. It is a love letter, but also it is insight to the black people experience. How we adhere to life and through the trials and tribulations. Yeah.
So, Chicago, families often weather storms together. In season 7, how does Shad's relationship with Alicia reflect broader themes of black partnership and resilience under pressure?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Repeat that, please, because that's man.
Okay.
Yeah, you got man.
You need to write these on a blackboard, girl.
Yeah, like
so we can think about this.
these are real. These are real questions.
Shad's relationship with Alicia reflect broader themes of black partnership and resilience under pressure.
Oh.
Okay. Well, oh my God, because I never thought about it from that angle. I think what their relationship represents is a real love. There's a real love and respect that Shad has for Alicia. Because I think he recognizes there are some things in himself that he could tighten up on, that he can be better at. And it's only when, and I've noticed this in my own life, it's only when a man is challenged by a strong woman to step up to the plate and be the man that he's supposed to be and walking in his true purpose in life. I think that's what Alicia has really done for Shad. I think what Shad has done for Alicia is shown her like real compassion and a real heart, and letting her know that no matter what, he has her back. And I think I could be totally wrong, but I think for so long, even in past relationships that Alicia's had, including the one with Leon, it wasn't, nobody's ever really had her back like that, like this guy has. And so I think that's something that we're really showing the audience, is that it may not, as far as some people or society's concerned, it may not be the conventional type of relationship, but the foundation of it is a very just real and passionate one. And no matter whether they decide to continue to have an intimate relationship with one another or platonic, it's just strong, and it's rooted in a real love and respect that they have for each other. And I'm so glad that we've been able to explore that and to present that to the audience, because I don't think you get a chance to see those type of examples a
No,
lot.
I feel like it shows you the levels of what a partnership can be,
Right,
and unconventional, unexpected,
right,
and perhaps socially not what one would expect these two people to find peace and solace and lessons and all of that, within each other. But partnerships can have a lot of different levels. So in another interview today, they said, what have you learned from your character? And so I learned to maybe not look for relationship in all the expected places, to be opened, right? Because something may not last forever. It may not be meant to live forever, but it can journey you from one place to another within yourself, which is way more sophisticated than my basic Louisiana woman self has lived in my life, but as a human. So I think that's interesting, and let's see where it goes in that, if there's no vitriol or meanness, and they can still, work together no matter what happens. I think that's an evolution for each of the characters.
absolutely.
Yeah. If
Absolutely.
all of the relationships on the show are very dynamic in that way.
Yes.
If you look at every single relationship,
true.
every
Yes.
single pairing is somewhat of an oddball. It's something, the perspective
Yes,
of it is
that's
like,
true.
for the viewer, it's like, whoa, such a ride of unexpectedness, how this dynamic of this family, not your baby mother, that baby mama,
I know.
the
That's
kids.
what Alicia was like, what is this, some Brady
Yeah.
Bunch?
Ghetto
Yeah,
Brady
yeah.
Bunch, yeah.
you
It's
know,
like, what in the world?
It's-
How are y'all all getting along?
it raises many questions for the viewer. It's not just simple entertainment.
Right.
It's something that can live with you, and hopefully humanize others' experiences. Especially you think Rolando and Jada. Why
And their history
and their
and how they
history.
were able to come
you
back.
know,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
there's a lot of nuance to the show.
Yeah.
When thinking of love.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that we are able to challenge our audience like that too, because it opens up deeper and more meaningful conversations, particularly in our immediate community. Conversations, I think we touched on that on the panel, conversations that in the past we may have been reluctant to have as a community, as a people, but what the show has done is kind of opened up that Pandora's box, if you will, to allow us to feel safe, to explore different conversation in different things as far as our lives, particularly when it comes to love and relationships. So yeah, the show does that really well. And, you know, we credit Lena and the writers and the producers and the directors for, you know, assisting us in helping to tell that story.
Yes.
Thank you.